Hello, beautiful loves. Thank you to everyone here with me live for the patience for that little tech glitch we just had. It's beautiful to be with you all for this sacred moment in time. We have about an hour together, but for those that know me well, time bends when we're together in this sphere, and I just show up for what's needed for the time that's needed, to be honest. So if any of you need to drop out, just drop out at the hour time. I won't be offended at all, and you'll all receive the recording. When I switch off the recording at the end, I always give space and time for those that want to share so that it's not being recorded and going out to the over 200 people who registered for this event. So you'll have space for questions at the end. I always give that. So you can hang around for those that would love deeper channeling or messages for you. I'm here for it. So let's open the circle. Take a deep breath into your heart of hearts. Feel your belly rise and your ribcage open and expand with a life force. Feeling yourself connected deeply in the space of your heart. Seated at the altar of your heart. Your soul shows you the way. The altar of your heart is that place nestled deep within you, where you feel safe, where you feel at home, where you feel extra doses of magical, and so clear in this space. A healthy detachment exists in this space from people, circumstances, and events. At the altar of your heart, you believe in miracles because you remember you are a miracle. You summon grace because you remember you are worthy. You were born worthy. And at the altar of your heart, you are brave and courageous. You remember courage, born of the heart. Imagine beautiful golden light around you, a cocoon of golden light. It suffuses you, it permeates every single cell in your body, your organs, your blood, your bone, all of it awash in golden light. The flame of your divinity is kindled ever more deeply by this golden light. You feel whole, at home, here at the altar of your heart. And it is this place, my loves, that we rest during this time together. Breath by breath, we will journey deeply into our own inner wounding and into the mastery that we are embracing in this lifetime. Chiron Retrograde reminds us to heal the ancient wounds, the tiny wounds, the huge wounds, the festering wounds, the long since forgotten wounds. And Chiron, being the magnificent master teacher that he was, is in timelines adjacent to this, reminds us of our own mastery, that we are forever the student or the protege as much as we are master teacher. You remember all of this in the next breath, and you smile and you realize it's not so difficult. It's just a remembrance. And so here we are, by the light of this flame. I summon the deepest protection around us, Summon beings of unconditional love or higher to us, within us, around us, and this sacred space. And as always, the Akashic Masters will give deep thanks and praise, the space from which I always sit and channel from. Pure unconditional love. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And here we are. Someone's just asking me, is it buzzing again? Is it buzzing again? Is it still buzzing? Okay, so I figured out what it is. It means I'm probably not going to be able to do the star language, higher pitch star language. Let's test it. We'll see if I can. I'm just going to tone, not do any other languages for right now, but let's see if it cuts out. I'm going to watch you and just wave if it cuts out. See, cuts out. So I'm not going to be able to do any of that in this. We have a glitch in the system, and that's okay. I will just be present and bring everything through in another way. It will come through my hands, it will come through movements, and it will come from my heart as always, so you won't miss out on anything. All right, I want to tell you a story. I love storytelling. I want to share this beautiful story because I feel like a lot of the time people are so focused on the wounding and on the shadow, and they forget that the shadow and the light actually exist harmoniously together always in that one beautiful flame of light that is you, that is your divinity. Because the bigger your light, the bigger your shadow. Have you ever noticed that when you're walking along a beach or down your favorite pathways, and the sun's shining and you feel amazing, and you look down and you look like this really long-legged alien? You look really huge. Have you noticed that? Yeah, that big bright light lighting you up, and your shadow is really, really big. But it's okay, right? You're not afraid of that because you know the sun's just doing its thing. It's no different. It's no different, the shadows within you. It's actually a reminder for us to never be afraid of them, because they make up the fabric of who we are. If you were to weave a tapestry of your life, what images would you have on it? What would you focus on? What would be there? Does Persephone focus on returning to the earth so that spring and summer come back? And feeling depressed and disheveled while she's in the underworld with Hades during the other half of the year? No, she doesn't. She doesn't at all. She dons her crown. She becomes queen of the underworld. The original story of Persephone, known as Cora, also, that's another name, Cora. You'll hear there are many different names in the different languages. The Greeks and the Romans loved to just, be difficult and have different names. And she actually had a conversation with her mama, Demeter, and said, holy heck, mama, I just don't have your touch with life like you do. I'm really good at death, though. I'm good at the other end of life. That's my jam. Are you brave enough to look at what your jam is, where your strengths lie? Even if they seem to contradict what society tells you you should be or shouldn't be, and what the overculture has imprisoned you in for so long. Have you looked at it? What about relationships? How do you be in relationship with yourself and with others? What lights you up? What sets your heart on fire? It's not always what other people tell you it's going to be, is it? Can I see a show of hands on who is present in relationship to themselves and those they love differently to maybe some members of the family? Can I see a show of hands? Yeah, you found your way, right? You found your way in it. And so did Chiron. So Chiron, known as the wounded healer, he was immortalized by Zeus in the stars, and we know him as the Sagittarian constellation in the night sky. Half man, half beast. Some say half horse, because of how he was birthed. So once upon a time, eons and eons and eons ago, before the mighty gods and goddesses of Olympus, there lived the Titans, and they were mighty. They were larger than life. They, like the gods, had their idiosyncrasies, their faults, their huge egos, and Kronos, the king or the father of all the Titans, was no different. It's no different. It was prophesied that his children would usurp him, that he would die by their hand. And of course, he was not ready to let go of life. So he did what any well-respecting Titan would do. He devoured his children. His wife wasn't that happy about it. So this incredible Titan, this king of time, decided to thwart time and the prophecies that were around him. So let me just go into a little mythology here. So Chiron was a centaur in ancient mythology, born because in those times, gods, goddesses, titans had no qualms at all in changing their form, in becoming other than what they were, to hide from their wives or husbands the shenanigans they were up to. So his father became a stallion and made love to, her name is, oh, there she is, Oceanid Philira. Yeah, I'm not Greek, I can't say it. She was this sweet little nymph who caught the eye and lingam, let's be honest, the lust craziness of Kronos. And to keep his shenanigans away from Rhea, his wife, he became a stallion and he mounted her, planted his seed in her, and she ended up with a child. And this sweet little being birthed what was believed to be a monster. And it's Chiron, part man, part beast. But see, here was the thing. Zeus and the gods at this time were on Olympus. And Apollo, the sun god, the god of light, decided to take this child under his wing and rear him. And he grew up with much light in his heart. He grew up intelligent and well-spoken and well-read. he became a master teacher. And while others of his kind lived up to their drunken debauchery identities, he wanted to teach and devoted his life to teaching. So from his original wounding, i.e. the way in which he was conceived and his birth, I mean, let's just psychoanalyze this for a second. His mother was raped by a titan pretending to be a stallion, and he was born in less than ideal circumstances because of the agony as he was born from her, and she felt ripped asunder. So there was trauma in the conception and the birthing. You all thought you had birthing stuff going on. Does this give you some perspective? And then later in life, one of his beloved students, Hercules, was responsible for the arrow that penetrated Chiron's thigh that wounded him for the rest of his life. Now, I'm going to go back a step. This wounding happened because those of his kind decided to come and invade the space where deep peace was, where there was deep peace. And Hercules, do you remember Hercules had those trials? It was during his 4th trial when he was in the cave, and he and others were protecting those that needed protecting, and one of the arrows that let fly accidentally hit Chiron, who was peaceful. He was never really a threat to anyone at all. And the arrow was made to maim gods and titans and centaurs and anyone of supernatural power and strength. So the wound never healed, though Chiron himself was a master healer, a master teacher. Nothing could cure this wounding. By the end of his life, fast forward, the wounding never left. It stayed with him, and he begged Zeus to relieve him of his life. He had had enough. He had passed on much of his teachings, much of his wisdom. He was so deeply loved. And because he was so loved, Zeus, the father of all gods, placed him eternally in the velvety, beautiful, inky, star-encrusted sky that we look upon every night. And he became that beautiful constellation of Sagittarius. So that first wound can really penetrate us, and many of us have felt it to a greater or lesser extent. And it can be interpreted as rejection at child's birth or unwantedness, right? Abandonment. It depends on how we interpret things. It depends on how we see our life, what we receive from it. And during Chiron retrograde, any old wounding that you do not allow yourself to come into a place of healing with has the potential to come up. Now, Chiron goes into retrograde each year or each cycle that it's time, and the potential for this to come up is huge. So if you have wounding in relationships, I'm not wanted, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, this is too good to be true, you know, I've been cheated on in the past, it's going to happen again, I've been hurt, this will happen again, so on and so forth. That has the potential to come up again. And it's not only relationships. I mean, there's many areas I could have focused on, but relationships is a good one because we all have either family or friends or loved ones or a beloved that maybe we can relate that to. So this wounding comes up, and when left unchecked, it begins to fester. Have any of you experienced this before? Should we put up several hands? Yeah. And so we experience this. And also remember that the moment that we relinquish, hand over our power to another, it is in that moment that you will feel the deep wounding. That is where the wounding lives. It's where it abides. The deep wounding abides in that moment you hand your power over, you give it away. So take a moment to remember how many times you've done that. Maybe recently. Has there been a recent moment in time? I mean, over the last 3 years, there's been a lot. There's been a lot of opportunity for us to have stayed the course and stayed true to our belief, no matter what family and friends were saying, or to get swept up in what we thought was expected of us. Neither's right or wrong. It's just, it's got to feel good for you. Maybe some of you can relate to leaving school earlier, or to becoming an entrepreneur, or to writing a book, or becoming an artist, or something else that apparently doesn't make much money or isn't a respectable job. Right? We make decisions all the time. So tonight, what I really want to do with you all, if you would like, is this beautiful DNA regeneration. And the DNA regeneration is to clear 7 generations past and 7 generations future. Would this be useful to you? It's powerful. It's really powerful when we can consciously make a choice for how it is we want to live, what we want to be set free from. And in doing so, we automatically liberate others, those that are close to us, our children, those that we love, because we set out these energetic ripples. We alter a moment in time. We celebrate our life in a new way. When we clear out the rubble. The overculture is conditioning from the culture all around you, seen and unseen, heard and unheard. It penetrates you. It's an expression used by Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes, who I love and I've listened to and had a connection with since I think I was 16. So about 16. So about 1990. I think was the first time. It could have been 89, but I think it was 1990. And I underwent, between listening to her and reading her books, you know, you can have them on tape deck. Do you remember that? Now we have things like Audible and podcasts. And Marianne Williamson teaching on A Course in Miracles and a million others. I started to shift. I started to experience these huge shifts. And when I hear Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes talk about the overculture, I often pause and I just come into alignment and I just feel what's penetrating me that actually isn't my own. What's sitting on my shoulders that's weighing heavy or is quite burdensome, that maybe I haven't looked at for a while and I've just let sit there and I've gotten used to the weight of it. Do any of you have that experience? It's like, you know, if you have pain in your body and you just get used to it and your body adapts and changes. You may not walk straight anymore, or you may not be able to sleep on a certain side, but your body learns to adapt. Yeah? It's just like that with emotional wounding, which comes from anything from the past. So it's just the overculture, it's family, it's all of it. But see, it's no one's fault. It's no one's fault, because they too had their own cultural conditioning. They too had an overculture permeating them. Make sense? So what this DNA regeneration does is helps clear just by taking responsibility yourself. So if you imagine our physical body inhabits our divine light, the divine light. It can't be contained. And our physical body, our sacred temple, has the divine spark, of course, within it, which blesses it. Pure grace flows through us and all around us all of the time. That's why you'll often hear me say, make your home a sanctuary, a temple. Have little altars scattered around your home. Cleanse and clear it often and much. Using sacred smoke, using cacao ceremony, using essential oils, using sound, breath, meditation, movement, dance. We want this space to be a temple, and we want this space to be a temple. And it's when we clear and help work through the wounding, help each other as we work on it ourselves, that we begin to feel lighter and brighter, and we start to live again. We thought we were living, and now we start to live free. So that divine spark within us, let's call that our soul light. Can we do that just for a minute? And in these DNA regenerations, at the end of it, we are actually going to seal the journey with a light impulse from our soul. And we're going to set it into infinity. We're going to completely alter what has been and what is yet to be by summoning the light of our soul and the light of Creator, whatever you call that, divinity, the light of Creator, and that's what's going to anchor it. That's what's going to keep it working for you. I've done this particular DNA regeneration for countless clients, and I can't tell you the changes, that how fast it happens. So first, before we begin this, because at the end you might be a little bit like, woo, or however it is for you, right? I don't want to go into cerebral stuff. So for the next little moment in time, I'm going to cover some really powerful tools to help you to shift through this time of challenge, of confusion. Because when any planet goes into retrograde, the attributes it would normally bring, you feel it as though it's withdrawn. So if we look at Chiron, who is the wounded healer, and he is the master healer, the master teacher, we can feel then in retrograde us possibly entering into insecurity around our capacity to heal ourselves, to be an incredible mentor, guide for ourselves and for others. Is this making sense? So you want to be really conscious to work with tools that you feel empowered with. So one is express and releasing what is harboring within you, what you feel lodged within you. So I want you all to just stand up for a moment. Don't worry if you're in your pajamas or whatever, it doesn't really matter. And I want you to just begin by shaking your hands. Just shake your hands and breathe. Inhale, exhale. Okay, stop shaking. Notice how your hands feel. Does anyone feel just after that short time a little bit of tingly or energy moving in their hands? Okay, imagine what will happen if you did this with your whole body. This is one of the most effective ways to dislodge emotion that is being stored deeply within you, that you feel unable to shift. You can call it wounding, you can call it whatever you like, but basically it's emotion, energy in motion. And as soon as we trap it, try and stuff it down, try and hold it in, it becomes stagnant. It is no longer energy in motion. So we want to get the motion going. So this is something potent that Osho and others of his students have brought into being, and it's something many of us do. So you just begin by shaking. So just bounce on your toes. Bounce up and down on your toes, let your heels hit the bottom. If you have pain in your body or something going on in your body where you can't do this, just moderate it, do it the way you can, but this is very gentle. Let your arms and your hands, just shake. Let your body move. Now, just slowly begin wiggling your bum, your hips. Lift your legs and let them fall again. Let your arms go scarecrowy. You don't want to shake your head too crazily, like you don't want to jiggle your brain around and give yourself a headache, but you just want to give it a little bit of, you know, just relax it. Just let your shoulders, your head flop a little, your spine, arch it. And of course, when you're doing it, put music on. I don't want to risk music because we're having sound issues today. The music will be your breath. Inhale, exhale. I want you to just jump a little. And as you jump, alternate your feet. So you're on the balls of the feet. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. And then just come back to the jiggle. Bend your spine. Shake down. Woo! Make some sound. If you can, spread your legs. Just squat a little. Keeping everything loose. Moving your body. Now just coming upright, and I want you to begin to move your pelvis. You might want to place your hands on your womb. Really, really moving your pelvis. The seat of your power, the seat of your womanhood, base chakra, sacral, solar plexus moving. Heart open, shoulders back. Just let your head gently roll forward. Inhale. And just coming to stillness. Big breath in. And release. Notice how you're feeling. Notice if there's any energy moving through your body. And what it feels like. We just did that for a few moments. You did this as a morning practice or evening practice. Come back to sitting when you're ready. You can do this as a morning and or evening practice. Anytime in the day practice when you need to move energy. It's powerful. It's very powerful. Just use the chat. Did anyone feel anything in particular? Can you feel anything in your body right now? Energized, tingling, beautiful. Yummy, yummy. Knees, really good. What goes in has to come out. Give it a space to come out, right? Buzzing, beautiful, more in flow, gorgeous. It's really good sometimes even just to, you know, rather than going to the cerebral, what needs to be released, ask your body, what needs to be released? What are we ready to let go of? And then just go into the shaking. Yeah, put really good music on when you do it if you want to. And let yourself feel again. Feel what's happening. You take a look at the pain and you fill it with the nectar of your essence, your breath, your emotion, your sounds. Yeah, let that renew you. Felt cleansing and I feel renewed, says Larissa. Fantastic. Okay, so you each will have a beautiful, I hope you think it's beautiful, I definitely do, little ebook that has some essential oils to support you. I just want to speak to what I have diffusing right now. So Roman chamomile, the tender heart, the tender touch, the tender caress, the sacred one that will hold you and nourish you and nurture you. She'll help to reduce the inflammation of emotions so that you can get to the core, rather than just being stuck or sitting at the inflammation points, feeling hopeless and helpless, but you can't go beyond it. Helichrysum, also known as immortelle, she who will stand by you, who will wound that which, who will heal the wounds that haven't been looked at for so long. That which you thought could never be healed, she reaches, she touches, she blesses with her light. Copaiba says, know thyself. The resins of copaiba and frankincense take you deep into your core. And have both of this in this blend, both of these. Opening yourself to uncovering more of who you are, layer by layer, slowly, gently. Both have quite a masculine presence to it, which is well. The other two have more of a feminine presence. The Roman chamomile and helichrysum and lavender. It's one of the beauties of the queendom, the floral queendom. She's like the duvet of the aromatherapy kingdom. She'll wrap you up in her arms and she will remind you always that she has your back. Where frankincense says, this too shall pass, and copaiba says, know thyself. Lavender says, take a breath. Don't try so hard. Just be. You don't need to uncover anything right now. Just be. Just be. Did you notice how with that movement, the shaking meditation, which we only did for a few minutes, it's amazing. Imagine doing that for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes a day. Belinda's saying, I actually feel parts of my body I haven't felt in for so long. Okay. She hasn't felt them for so long, right? Because we can so get caught up in life and going and doing and being there for our children or whoever it is you're going to show up for. Imagine doing this. Is there anyone that's going to kind of make a commitment to do a daily devotional, even if just for the next week or so with this? It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal, this practice. And for those that are already doing it, how amazing is it? Maybe you've been reminded of it. So these essential oils, you'll find the deeper meanings of in our book, Gifts of the Essential Oils, and the cards. I think most of you have that now. If you don't, we'll link you in the email. But it's a book that Adam Barrelay and I wrote together. And if you haven't seen it, we've got this calendar which has, I'm not here to sell it, but it just occurred to me you may not have this. You'll find it on the link as well. It's all on Adam's website. We've just got our shop set up there. So this is, we run a year-long program together. This year it's called At Home Under the Stars. Last year it was Rise of the Phoenix. But these calendars have, like if you look at February, we have major events for the turning of the wheel, master plans, a little bit on it, and then who's going into retrograde, what's going on, and full moon and new moon devotionals and practices. It's really beautiful. So we have these, and that might just help you, to know what's going on. But anyway, you will have this beautiful ebook there. I want to remind you of the touch oils. Forgive with the mighty trees will help to restore you, help give you something to lean into. So yes, it's a renewing blend, because when we feel like we're being held, someone's holding space for us, things begin to shift, and forgive does that. Magnolia is beautiful this real crone mama energy, really beautiful for new moon and darker moon. So when you're releasing is amazing, getting ready to plant seeds for new. So she'll be a beautiful companion for that, deeply soothing and relaxing, as is Neroli, especially if you're feeling like any anxious feelings around this retrograde, things coming up and you can't quite put your finger on. Do you know what I mean when I say that? Like there's something sitting at the periphery. You're like, what is that exactly? And the unease can build and build and build. Use these companions. Of course, peace to bring you solace, you know, peace and magnolia, or you might prefer neroli, but peace and magnolia every night. They're on my bedstand. You'll see they're both almost empty. These are my bedstand companions. Neroli's there on my bedstand as well. This is a brand new one. I just got that in my last order because I use neroli a lot also. I love working with oils in the moon, and this is a new rose. So rose and neroli just came with last month's order with me. Yes, over your heart, but also over your sacred womb space. That hip motion that we did at the end, it's so amazing for freeing any wounding lodged in your womb space or lodged in your solar plexus, like your power center, your sacral, your base chakra, feeling unsafe. Yeah? Okay. So then the last thing I'll say to you is you can make up your blends that are in this beautiful booklet. And, you know, you all know I love putting crystals, crystal chips and botanicals in them and just making it all really pretty. But what you can do is you can infuse your oil by the light of the moon, a particular moon that you resonate with. So just like how we make lunar water, you can do lunar oil. So take your favorite carrier. You know, you might make up a bottle of jojoba and fractionated coconut oil and some vitamin E and some carrot seed oil and some hemp oil, avocado, it doesn't matter. Like you can make up a mix and place that under the moon and let it be supercharged by the full moon to magnify the healing effects, and then use that in your beautiful, you'll see a blue tansy blend in there. That's my blue tansy blend. And I've got lapis lazuli in there and sweet little botanicals. That one's my butterfly pea flower and some amethyst. You'll see all the blends in your book. I didn't put the botanicals and the crystals because I want you to just feel into yours. Okay, so neroli's been a huge support with changes with my anxiety and supported more naturally. Yeah, that's beautiful, babe. I'm going to invite you to take out one word of that and replace it with the. And the word is my. When you say my pain, my scoliosis, my anxiety, my panic attacks, my depression, my insomnia, my, you're claiming it as yours. It's like you are, you're, you know, like when they land on the moon, they put a flag in it and they're like, whoop, here we are, I was the first, blah, blah, blah. It's like that. And you set up this resonance in your body with the word my. So my invitation to you is to remove that word, any of you using it, and just say the, with the anxiety, with the sleeplessness. Okay, neroli's been my biggest support postpartum. Oh, beautiful, Erin. Amazing support. Feeling free, hips, okay, gorgeous. Let me just, I think I've missed something. I want to go into the practice now, but oh, you're doing it 5 minutes a day. Perfect. And you're crying. You were crying. Yes. Okay. And now you feel calm. We need to release everything, you guys. We need to release. I noticed the oils are not in amber bottles. I thought it's always better in amber bottles. Are you talking about my roller bottles, Colette? Because if you are, these are always away from direct sunlight and from, you know, from heat. And if you keep them away from light, heat and oxygen, it's fine. They won't oxidize. So mine are on a stand up here away from all of that. Okay, my darlings, I want you to sit back and get ready for this very, very simple DNA regeneration that you can return to anytime you want. You can do with your children, you can do with your loved ones, because we're recording this so you can revisit it anytime you like. This is DNA regeneration, and channeling from the Akashic Records is something I do in pretty much all of my containers. Whether you're working one-on-one with me, or in Voice of the Goddess, or in free spaces like this, I'm super passionate about bringing these gifts to all of you in the most beautiful, simple ways. So closing down your eyes, just let them drift shut. Let your body just relax, sit in a very comfortable position. Make sure you're warm. Deeply. There are circumstances in our family history and genealogy, our overall family constellation, which highlights for us karmic debts and burdens and anything that holds us back from being the light we want to be in this lifetime. So right now, we are consciously going to very lovingly set ourselves free from that. In a moment, I'm going to begin reading something out to you, this DNA regeneration, and you're all on mute. I would like you all to repeat it out loud as I'm saying it. It cements it. You can say it in your own mind if you are on a funny time zone and your family's asleep, or even if you just whisper it. It's very powerful. This works with anything that's impacting us with or without our knowledge. So it goes beyond even what's fully known to you. So taking a deep breath, and when you exhale, just release the breath with a sigh. And repeating after me. I am in spirit. I am one with the Creator. My healing blesses all of creation. I widen my consciousness to be aware of the family constellation that includes me. So just take a deep breath and let your awareness expand, becoming aware of your family constellation, your lineage. Repeating after me. As I expand my consciousness, I become aware of seven generations which have passed and 7 generations which are yet to come. Allow yourself to feel that, sense that, experience that. 7 generations past, 7 generations yet to come. Taking a deep breath. I am one with the Creator, and we cut every negative connection all energetic cords and ties that still bind me in a way that no longer serves to the people in my family constellation. Allowing yourself to feel that sense of this happening. Some of you may feel the presence of Archangel Michael, a guide that usually assists you, supports you in these processes. Let that be. And just know that it's not needed, that this is enough. Your will is enough. Your decision to make it so is enough. And repeating after me, every debt or burden that would prevent me from becoming the person that my soul and Creator intended for me to become. Just feeling that, feeling the debts, the burdens, karmically and otherwise being cleared. The interlocking network of relationships that aren't serving the way you relate together, that drains you, all of it being cleared away. Anything that's impacting you now is being cleared. And repeating after me, as these negative ties are loosened, as these heavy burdens are released, as these karmic chains dissolve, my spirit feels lighter within me. Take a deep breath and feel that. Feel that statement. Feel the truth of that statement for you. As it is all loosened, my spirit feels lighter within me. Feel the resonance of that. Deep breath in and exhale. And now repeating, I am now able and intend to follow the path of the Creator. Feel that. Say that again with conviction. I am now able and intend to follow the path of the Creator. You, my loves, are the Creator. You are the creatrix. You determine this. You are now following the path that your soul and Creator chose for you in this lifetime. That has power. These words have power. And repeating after me, the other participants. So this is the other members and family in your family constellation. That's the other participants, right? The other participants follow their own path of the Creator. Our paths do not cross. Negative and dense outcomes are avoided. We've just altered everything. Feel that. And now, with conviction, I want you to declare this. I illuminate this action with a light impulse from my soul, and the Creator confirms and fixes the results with a burst of light. And we send the result into infinity. Deep breath in. Feeling this, becoming aware of how you feel now after that beautiful journey into your family constellation, into 7 generations past, 7 generations future. How are you feeling? Deep breath in, release out, just stretch your body, begin moving your fingers and toes. Normally I'd put some music on now so we can all dance and celebrate. You can do that when we get off. I'd love to hear in the comments how you're feeling. Maybe a word comes up or a phrase. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with us. It was a beautiful ceremony. Oh, my pleasure. Yeah. Let your life be imbued in ceremonial practices that light you up. And Nicole's saying she feels sadness and grief. Julie, like a weight has been lifted. Deep peace and present. Nearly asleep in a good way. I hope that's yes, I get it. That's beautiful. It's that surrender point. I feel so much lighter. Out the front, the porch, the sun, the wind, the birds. Yeah, gorgeous, Renee. Woof, now they come in thick and strong and I can barely keep up. Okay, I'm speed reading through them. Beautiful. Tired and ready for bed and lighter. Good. Kira's very activated and a bit lightheaded. Relaxed. Great. So you want to make sure that you drink plenty of water. Hydrate yourselves. And coconut water is another great one. And if you can, after this, I've got a few things I want to share with you before we get off, but if you can, move your body a little. Even if you just put music on and sway, just let your cells get used to this new resonance, this new vibration, this new welcoming of what you've brought into your life. Yeah, okay, lots of comments here. Buzzing, ears feeling pressure. Okay, so your body, I want to show you something. Everyone stand up just for a minute, and I want you to just imagine you are, you know, a tree or a sapling in the breeze, a little bit vulnerable. Your roots are still finding their way. Just breathing in. Don't skip out on this. Move your body. What you're doing is you're letting your cells move to the music of the new you. Yeah, beautiful. Move your hips, swish, swish, swish those beautiful hips, goddesses. And the other way. Do a figure of 8. And the other way. Your wrists up and down on your toes. On your heels. It's like balls of your feet and heels. Just let yourself rock. Feel the motion of rocking and swaying. Go to the outside of your feet and the inside of your feet. Outside of your feet, inside of your feet. Bring your knees together and just gently swirl them, move around. And deep breath in, arms up, and release. Arch your back. Let yourself just drift down, your hands swaying to the ground or the floor. And then inhale and vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly come up. When you're ready, grab your seat. Yeah, so whenever you do big energy work, just let yourself do a little embodiment practice. Move your body to bring it back. Okay, is that feeling good? Help you be grounded too. Okay, so in a moment, I'm going to switch off the recording and we'll go into shares. What I want to share with you from my heart to yours is this useful? Would you like more of this kind of thing? Great. Okay, so I'm thinking I'll do something for Lionsgate Portal. So we'll come back together then. I want to share with you, I have a very sacred offering coming up. She starts next month and she's called the Reveal. And the Reveal will have a very potent DNA regeneration, which is known as the 3 shadows process. So Chiron will be in retrograde till December, like the 23rd, something like that. So I'm just doing things to support that journey. The Reveal is a paid offering. I have her at a very affordable rate. I also support those who, you know, struggle financially. So you just reach out, but she's very affordable. I'll send you the link in the email that will send you this recording. So for anyone who feel called to her, you can jump on my Instagram and the link's in the bio there. But the Reveal is, if you imagine just going layer by layer, layer by layer, deep into the folds of you, of who you are, and unearthing the abandoned parts, the left behind parts. So we'll do soul retrieval in this space, and there'll be the 3 shadows process. It's a very, very powerful journey, and I would love to invite you to that space with me. So for those that can come along, it's 3 sessions, 90 minutes, and then at the end of the 90 minutes, we switch off the recording and you have intimate, kind of, you know, it feels like one-on-one time. For the women who have journeyed with me, you know what that's like. And for those that are new to me, it's beautiful. You'll feel it. You'll feel it tonight anyway. So I'm going to switch off the recording. Debbie, I think you had your hand up, so I'll start with you if you want. No, you're okay. It was a mistake. I'm so glad you loved this and you found it nourishing and warming and delicious, and it's been so beautiful for me to have you all. Let's close the circle before we switch off the recording. By the light of this candle and the light of our hearts, the light of our very divinity, we give deep thanks and praise to every woman who showed up in this sacred circle, for the healing that occurred that blesses you, that blesses me, and blesses all. Because when I heal, you heal, and we all heal. Together as sisters, we become one flame, one love, one unified force field of light. We give thanks to the Akashic Masters, Lords, Ladies, and loved ones for your presence, to the angels, ascended masters, to your guides, whatever beings of light that showed up for you, for us. Deep bow of gratitude. Let your home be your temple. Let your body be your temple. Let your divine light bless all of it. Summon grace to you often and much, and remember, you are a miracle. You are creatrix. You are divine love embodied in this succulent form. Today, tomorrow, and always, may you ever be blessed. I love you. Thank you for joining me. Okay, I'm just going to stop the recording. We'll send this out in the next day or so. All right.